you do this intro every week. We all understand. She's Sonja. But you know who I am? I am the king of YouTube content. I am Vito. You laughing at me?
No.
And here's a little message to all you people. Now, I know that if you're watching us, you subscribe, you like what you see, you enjoy watching the king of content bring you content every week that is unlike anywhere else on the planet. However, YouTube, the big company, is trying to hold me down. I am an undisputed champion, as you see here, of YouTube content, but yet they are trying to tell me that I'm not good enough for their platform.
Sorry, can I say this? Can I say this? I don't have your name on it.
Doesn't need my name on it. I hold the belt, I'm the champion.
Are you?
Back to what I was saying. YouTube's trying to hold me down. So what I'm going to have all of you, my loyal, devoted followers, do is I'm going to have you go ahead and share this video with whoever. Your friends, your family, your kids. It don't matter. Make sure that this video gets out there and we get seen. Tell YouTube they can go shove it up their ass. Anyway, to what today's show is. As you see here, as I've mentioned, I'm holding this undisputed internet champion here. YouTube champion, whatever the hell I called it. I don't care. This belt is mine. But she wants it. As you saw it when she stole the belt from me.
Yeah, that's pretty easy.
For her to get this belt, all she has to do is answer some basic wrestling trivia. Something that I am an expert in. And that she...
Oh, expert, eh?
Well, she's learning. So we'll see how she does today. I gotta give her 6 questions. If she gets 4 out of 6 right, then she gets to take this belt home with her. If not, then I remain the undisputed YouTube champion.
I don't think I'm going to win.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
Alright. Side note, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Question 1. WWE's WrestleMania has been a household spectacle since 1985 and is considered the Super Bowl of professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Which of these men was not involved in the main event of the first WrestleMania?
How am I supposed to know that?
Is it A, Hulk Hogan, B, Sergeant Slaughter, C, Bob Orton Jr., or D, Mr. T?
Mr. T, because he's not a wrestler.
Is that your final answer on this one?
Yeah.
As I expected, you got the first one wrong. Sorry. Mr. T actually was involved. It was a tag team match between Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Bob Orton Jr. The answer was actually Sergeant Slaughter, B. He was not involved in the main event of the first WrestleMania.
But Mr. T's not a wrestler.
It don't matter. How does has that ever mattered in WWE if they're not a wrestler?
It should, yes.
Yeah, it probably should. Fun fact, Bob Orton Jr. is the father of current WWE star Randy Orton, who once shit in someone's bag.
Why is that a fun fact?
I don't know. Just showing you that all your idols, all your professional wrestling icons are probably assholes. Question 2. Pro wrestling is a worldwide phenomenon and has left its footprint nearly everywhere, including Japan early in the 1950s. What is wrestling commonly known as in Japan? Is it A, Puroresu, B, Pro Resu, C, Resu Ringu, or D, Joshi?
I'm going to say C.
Resu Ringu? You'd be very close. C is actually wrestling, just the word wrestling in Japanese, Resu Ringu. But the answer is A, Puroresu. So she's 0 for 2 so far.
Well,
this
that
belt,
wasn't a very fair question.
This belt is looking like it's staying here with Papa. But while we're on the topic of Japanese pro wrestling, who was known as the father of Puroresu?
Sumo. I don't know.
Was it A, Antonio Inoki, B, Ricky Dozen, C, Kazuchika Okada, or D, Giant Baba?
That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Don't shove it in my mouth. I'm going to say C again.
C, Kazuchika Okada?
Yeah. It might be Giant Boy.
Mwah. Looks like this belt's staying right here tonight.
Yeah, because
the answer is actually Ricky Dozen. Answer was B.
He's like the most white-sounding guy.
Ricky Dozen?
Ricky?
It's actually one word, Ricky Dozen. It's not two names. Anyway, Ricky Dozen was actually stabbed at a nightclub when he was age 39 by a Yakuza member. But what's interesting is he did not die just from the stab wound. He died because after surgery for the stab wound, he drank too much and gave himself, I think it's called pertussis. So basically, after getting stabbed, he disobeyed doctor's orders and killed himself. Just another fun fact for you. Are you having fun here? You having some trouble?
What's the opposite of yes?
The opposite of yes is yes.
I know.
Women's wrestling has not always been represented the best, as evidenced by 90s and 2000s bras and panties matches, which are thankfully not a thing anymore. But, despite their poor representation, women's wrestling has actually been around since the 1930s. One woman even held the women's championship for 10 years. Who was the woman? Was it A, Johnny Mae Young? B, Wendy Richter?
That's a woman?
Yes. B, Wendy Richter. C, Judy Grable. Or D, the Fabulous Moolah?
D.
Well, you actually got one right. The Fabulous Moolah did hold the Women's World Championship for 10 years in her first reign and combined over 20 years as champion. However, despite her reputation as a stellar female wrestler, she was actually accused of exploiting the women that she had trained, including selling them into prostitution. Again, all your wrestling icons are dicks. By the way, I believe this is mine. And
you already said that.
Yeah, I know, but you gotta know. You have to know that this is mine. This is staying with me. As you can see, she's having the most fun possible because she is here with me, Mr. Vito, and she knows that I am the king of YouTube content. If you haven't liked, comment, and subscribed, you know damn well to do so now. Anyway, question 5. I've been to many wrestling events in my 24 years of life.
You wish.
Of these, though, which was my first pay-per-view event that I've been to? Was it A, Extreme Rules, B, Vengeance, C, Survivor Series, or D, WrestleMania?
Well, I know it's not D. Survivor Series?
Is that your answer?
It's either that or Extreme Rules, but I still think it's Survivor Series.
Well, you got 2 correct so far. Ding. Well, yeah, Survivor Series was my first pay-per-view. I actually did go to a WrestleMania, though, back in 2019, before the pandemic broke out, my first WrestleMania. And it was also noteworthy because it featured the first all-female main event. I left before that main event, though, because I wanted to get the hell out of New Jersey. Last question. Since I've been with you, we've actually watched many professional wrestling pay-per-views together, much to her chagrin.
We watched WrestleManias and like a couple other ones, not many.
But here's a question. What was the first wrestling pay-per-view you and me watched together? Is it A, Money in the Bank, B, Survivor Series, C, the Royal Rumble, or D, a WrestleMania?
It was your DVD of Survivor Series. Do not know what year it was.
That is correct. So technically you got half of these correct. I'll give you credit. You did a great job. Great showing, but you did not take them out.
Yeah, because they were for you. The only thing I know about wrestling is like the names of some people, and that's about it.
Regardless, yes, Survivor Series 2009 was the one that me and her watched together. It was also my first pay-per-view in Washington, D.C.
2009?
2009.
I didn't know it was that.
But seems that you have to try to win this another day, because this is staying right here with the king of content himself, Vito.
I'd rather want a cake.
Any takes you have on this quiz? Anything you want to say? It doesn't matter what you want to say. Like, comment, and subscribe. This episode is over. I am out, and I'm done.
Well, I was going to say, ladies, it's fun to watch with your men. I think it's better than football, so give wrestling a chance. Bye.
Now, back to what I was going to say. Can I have my belt back, please?
What you want to do?
Okay. Technically speaking, you're not supposed to get that unless you win, so you gotta give it back to me regardless.
I don't wanna. Alright, because you said please.